What's up, guys? Tyler Yasuda here at Tytaniumfitness. In today's video, we're going to talk about steroids versus drug-free bodybuilding part 4. If you haven't seen the other 3 parts of the series, I will put links over here on this side, so you can check those out if you want. Specifically, the reason I'm making this video is because after that part 3, I've been taking a little bit of heat. People are saying that I'm only making these videos to piss people off or to, I don't know, make people angry or whatever. And one of my friends even told me that eventually at some point I'm going to offend somebody and they're going to take it personally. And that's not really what this is about. So part of it is I just want to explain. I do acknowledge that whether or not you decide to use performance enhancing drugs or recreational drugs or do whatever you want with your life, everything that you do is a choice. It's a decision that you have to make for yourself. Obviously, other people can influence your decisions, but at the end of the day, every decision that you make is your own. The reason I say this is because people think that I'm making these videos because I want guys that are using to feel bad or something like that, or say that I'm better than those people, or drug-free athletes are better than people that are using it. It's not like that at all. I mean, I might not agree with the decisions that other people make all the time, but this is not really about that. I realize that there's a lot of people possibly watching this channel who are sort of on the fence. I'm sure I've said this before in a few other videos, but there was a point when I was a senior in high school coming into my first bodybuilding season. I didn't know what shows I was going to do, but I had my heart set on competing in the NPC, knowing full well that that implied that eventually, if I wanted to be successful at any level, I would have to eventually start using anabolic steroids and other drugs. And I knew that, I understood that, and I was willing to do that to myself. Luckily for me, I met Bob Bell and Tina Smith prior to doing my first contest, and they told me there was another way. You know, you could go, there was such a thing as drug-free bodybuilding. They told me about this, and they led me down that path, and I haven't looked back since. And I mean, I tell people that they saved my life, and that sounds a bit extreme, but I mean, it's true. If I hadn't met Bob and Tina when I did, if they hadn't led me down that path, then there's no way I would be the person that I am today. So the reason that I'm making these videos and providing the information that I do, I realize that most of the information I provide is sort of, if anything, it's influencing people to go the same way that I have, down the drug-free path. And that's sort of the point, is that if you're on the fence and you see my videos, maybe there's going to be a few people. I mean, a lot of people probably won't make any difference, but maybe there will be 1 or 2 people who will see my videos and they'll sort of reconsider that decision, and maybe they will stay natural. And for the sake of their own health, their own safety, their longevity, I think that's a solid decision. But like I said before, everybody has to make their own choice, and that's what I wanted to talk about with this. Somebody said to me after I made that last video that I was only doing it is pointless, and that I was only doing it to make people angry or piss them off. Now, my response to that was that all I'm doing really in these videos is providing a bit of information. In that last video I was providing data, interpreting it from my own point of view, and providing my own opinions. And if somebody truly feels justified in their decision to use performance enhancing drugs, then from their perspective I just become some sort of drug-free evangelist, and it becomes easy for them to ignore me. However, if somebody's using and they are deeply upset with something that I say in my video, especially that last one, it's not necessarily because they disagree with me. I think that it's probably because some part of them knows that I'm right. The things that I'm saying in these videos is reminding them that they had to compromise their own morals to do the things that they're doing. And most of them would probably rather ignore something like that. And like I've discussed before, you always have to consider the health side effects. But one other thing that I haven't mentioned really is the legality of the whole thing. I mean, regardless of whether or not you agree with the law, possession of anabolic steroids and their use is still illegal. So in the United States at least, anabolic steroids are a Schedule III drug, which means that possession of a Schedule III drug is a felony. So if you ever get arrested with steroids, unless you have a ton of money and a great lawyer, you're going to go to prison. And to me, that's just not worth it. But then again, you know, it's like I said, it's your own choice. And that's the biggest thing that I wanted to talk about in this video, is that yes, every decision that you make, whether it be to use performance enhancing drugs, recreational drugs, whether it be to go to class on time, go to work, whether it's to eat a sandwich or to eat pizza, whatever it is, every single decision that you make is your own. Regardless of what anybody says to you, regardless of however you're influenced, the decisions that you make are things that you decide on your own. So all the accountability for every decision falls on you. So if you do decide to do performance enhancing drugs or recreational drugs or break the law in any way, you have to be willing to accept the fact that whatever consequences, if everything goes wrong, you have to be willing to accept the fact that all those consequences are things that you sort of agreed to in making that decision. So yes, whether or not you use performance enhancing drugs is your own choice, but you have to be willing to live with that choice. That's about it for this video, guys. I hope it clears things up a little bit. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.
Titanium heart,